So before I get into the video and talking about things, I really quickly just wanted to say I'm not making this video looking for sympathy or looking for people to feel bad for me. I just wanted to come on here and be vulnerable with you all and talk about my feelings surrounding the game and why I haven't really been playing, why I don't plan to continue to play, and uh, things revolving that. So, you know, maybe it'll be something that will resonate with others. Maybe it won't. Either way, it's fine. But regardless, I appreciate anyone who felt like taking the time to hear me out and to watch the video. And yeah, with all that being said, let's get into the video. One more thing. This video is not going to be edited really. So since I'm just going to kind of be talking, like I'm just going to record it in one take. I'm not going to do multiple takes or anything to try and make things perfect because it's just my raw and I guess live thoughts. But I say that to say I apologize in advance for like I guess gaps in my thinking or things being a little hard to comprehend at times. I'm just gonna kind of be saying things how I think of them. So that's all. Anyway, let's get into it. All right, where to begin? Um, I guess for starters, I'm quitting, quote unquote, um, comp. Not in a way where I'm like never gonna play again, like never play the game again. Um, More so in a way of like competitively, I'm kind of done trying to be the best at the game, which I don't really think that I've necessarily been trying to do that for a long time, but like consistently, but there's still been times where I did, try and put in a month or two of grinding to try and, hit a new peak for a tournament, whether it was Riptide or NAL or some other event. Not this Riptide, but Riptide last year anyway. But yeah, whether it was for some like tournament or because I thought I would have had like a pickup like project sort of thing going on, whatever reason. But those times were very few and far between. And afterwards, after those kind of situations happened, where I'm grinding the game for a little bit, looking for a result, 9 times out of 10, I would say I never really got the result I was looking for. Never hit the skill level I was looking for, never got the literal like tournament result I wanted. I think in the last year there was one tournament I played that I felt really happy about result wise, which was I think it was in the zone. Um, it was like in the zone like a couple or some months ago. I played with Omega, Yoshel, and Shadow, and we played like a pen heavy tri roller sort of comp, and that was super fun. We did really well, got third I think, um something like that, like that type of thing. But other than that, I would say for honestly the past few years, um I haven't really found what I've been looking for result wise in practice, and at a point you continue to grind for something and ultimately don't get the result. Like at a point it becomes taxing and um unfun, to be frank. Like continuing to grind out every time, feeling motivated, looking for a new result, looking for you know like a new way to try and like break through to be in like the super top tip top of like top level, whatever you want to call it. I know that everyone has their own opinion of what that looks like, but like breakthrough to be up there with the best, and every time that happens you don't get the result you're looking for. It's tiring, it's exhausting, it's demotivating. um and I think NAL was my kind of last straw with that. um Scuba as a pickup was put together I mean, so it was so on a whim. I came to Leaf with the idea, and we were thinking of players, just kind of like got Kara, um, and we're trying out a bunch of different backlines for our fourth, and then we landed on Mecha, but Mecha didn't want to play really, so we had him as a sub, and then we got Grape to actually play. And then, I mean, our whole roster, the whole season was a mess. It felt like a different four every week. So much so that when I played the finals, the casters were saying that I was a sub when I was not intended to be a sub in that roster. But anywho, yeah, NAL was kind of my last like draw of continuing to come back, and like, you know, when you're motivated in trying to like get better at something and you ultimately like fail, and for a while you're able to, if you really want that thing, you're able to say, you know what, it's fine, I'll do better next time, and you're able to pick yourself back up. And I think NAL was my last kind of straw with that, because I wasn't playing for a while, was feeling not super great about the game, and then NAL happened and I got a chance to play with some of my closer friends in the scene, and I thought that would be really fun for me. I thought it would go really well, and ultimately it was another instance of not achieving the goal I wanted. So I mean, after that, it happens again, and I mean, I tweeted on or I posted on Blue Sky, and I said, quote unquote, I don't have anything left to give. And that really was true, and it still is true. I don't have another run back, another we get up and go again. I just don't. Every time I think about it, I think about how for the past X years, every time I've had that, I ultimately come back and fail, and it's saddening. Like I've said, it's saddening, it's demotivating, and it's not a feeling I want to experience anymore. At the end of the day, so yeah, I don't have any more to give. I really don't. I don't want to keep trying, and maybe it's like a loser mentality or whatever, but I don't really care. I've played the game for, I mean, shoot, I started playing comp and got a bit more serious and got better at it in, I think, 2019. It's been like 7 years. Ultimately, I've it's not like I've completely just failed my whole career. I've had very high highs. I mean, I didn't play, but this game took me to Japan, it took me across the United States. It's still gotten me, some of my closest friends. I've still had my fair share of results. Like I still have things to be happy about. But now in this stage where, the meta is what it is, which I'll talk about a little later. The meta is what it is. I continue to try and come back, or was continuing to try and come back and push past it and be better, and I just couldn't. And I don't really want to try anymore. And that's kind of just part of the reality. Now, I will say that there are definitely other factors. It's not just, or it's not all just, well, I continue to try and failed, so I don't want to keep trying anymore. In a vacuum, that is what it is. Like, that is a factor, but there's other things. A big thing, and it kind of encompasses a couple of smaller things I'm going to talk about. But when I play multiplayer games, I play these games to play them with my close friends and have enjoyment, with them and bond with them through the game, right? I haven't been able to do that since Seafoam. Seafoam, I don't know if, there's probably some people that don't know. Seafoam was a team that formed back in, I want to say 2022, with myself, um, Basil, Shadow, and Madness, who some may know now as Maverick. I don't know, but anyway, same person. The guy that was on Jackpot, that guy. Um, yeah, that was a team that at the time I did form with, you know, two of my closest friends. I didn't know Basil as well at the time, but that team still turned into a family for me. And you know, regardless of how successful or unsuccessful that team was, which honestly I would say it was more unsuccess than anything, but anywho, regardless of all of that, those were some of my most fun times playing the game. Oh, actually, wait, before I continue, I can't forget Coach K-Bot, because he also made it really, really fun. It was really fun being around him and talking with him, and I mean, him being our coach, it just was the greatest time. But anywho, yeah, that was the last time I was in a real situation where I could, in a long-term sense, play the game with my friends and enjoy it in the way I wanted to. And I did. Like I said, those were some of the most fun times I had playing the game. But after Seafoam, I kind of just became, I would say, a person that just kind of hung out in the spaces of the team, of my friends' teams. I'm sure a lot of people know I was around Jackpot quite a lot. They were people that I hung out with quite a bit. I was around Moonlight a lot and still am. I would say now those are my closest friends in the scene. But even still, now, you know, with those being my closest friends, Jackpot now is dispersed into, well, one, they got canceled, and then that dispersed into Milky Way, and now Leafy's playing with FT Win, and, you know, they're all on their own path, so there's that. And then, like I said, Moonlight exists, and those are my, who I would now say are my closest friends in the scene, so I hang out with them a lot, but I don't really play the game with them, you know what I mean? Whenever I've had pickup opportunities and, you know, whenever there were project opportunities, it wasn't with them. It was with people that I would say I wasn't as close with. And the game's just not as fun for me that way. I would say I've historically played my best playing with my friends. Especially over the past 2 years. I would say that on Seafoam I wasn't as great of a player as I am now, or at least I guess was. I don't know what you want to say, but me being that great and me being as great, I would say my peaks came from when I was able to play with people I really enjoyed playing the game with, and I just don't really have those opportunities anymore, because whether those people, you know, play with other people, they play with each other, whatever it is, which I'm not like salty about or like mad about or anything, it just kind of is the reality. Like I don't get to play with them. So I think NAL was definitely the last time I was able to do that, and I'm really grateful and thankful that I, you know, was able to enjoy the game the way I did, because while I would say NAL ultimately wasn't the greatest success, although we got chairs, and to be honest, that's the bare minimum that I wanted, but you know, as a competitor, you ultimately want more. As you like, you reach your goal and then you want more after as a competitor, and that's what I was during NAL. But anyway, yeah, regardless of that, I got to play with some of my closest friends in the scene, people I've known since Splatoon 1. A lot of people don't know this about us, but me and Leafy practically have grown up together. I've been there through the highs, I've been there through the lows. I stuck with him while he was making poor choices and saying poor things and got himself canceled. I've known Grape since, or actually before that, and I was there to pick him up and be a better and more positive influence and be the influence that I should have been to him when he was younger. But anyway, yeah, I've known Leafy for over 10 years now. I've known Grape for a similar amount of time. It was a blessing to be able to play the game with them for that amount of time in the way that we did before quitting. Kara and Mecca I haven't known as long, but I still would say that those two are still really good people, really good players, and people that I still would say I was pretty like decently close with. But regardless, that experience was probably the most fun I had playing Splatoon in a while. And I'm glad that I was able to play with them and end it off on a note like that. But, you know, I don't have opportunities to play. Like, that's why those stuff like that, that's why I play the game. You know, to share space with my friends like that in a private battle, like in the lobby. And I don't really have opportunities to or want to seek that out anymore. Which leads me into like a similar idea. I don't have a team, and those like me talking about, you know, or I don't have a team, I don't really want to look for one. Me talking about you know, I play the game with my friends. I play the game to enjoy it with my friends, you know, all of that. Like it leads into that same thing. Like I don't have a team, and I don't really want to succumb myself to pickup culture. I don't enjoy it, which actually is the next point. Practicing hasn't really been fun for me for a while. Pickup culture sucks, and has kind of sucked for a while in my opinion. Individual practice, playing solo queue, I haven't really been a good solo queue player for a while, and still probably didn't even finish the game as one. And then there's eights, and eights, oh my goodness. Eights is a whole thing because eights came around last year before MomoCon, like in April. Yeah, something like that. Eights started for me as a way to practice for MomoCon specifically with my pickup. It was myself, Lexi, Thunder, and Len. Yeah, that was my pickup. That's why I played eights for that. It was specifically for, actually, it was for myself and also for Moonlight to get practice. So we made an 8 server, invited a couple of friends, and a couple of other players just so the lobbies would fill up. And that's what it was supposed to be. And then 8s became this big giant thing. Like now there's a whole like top player 8 server. It has a voting system. There's, let me look, there's like 80 people in it now when it started at like 20. Practice quality is always pretty terrible. The comps are never good. People, you know, aren't calming or whatever. Like it just sucks. It just sucks. But yeah, so 8's not fun. Never really fun. Pickups not fun. Haven't been fun for a while. Solo queue not fun. Hasn't been fun. And I'm just not gonna sit here and keep playing the game if I'm not enjoying the practice. Like there's just no point. Like it's just torture at that point. So that's another thing. And then there's also the state of the game as far as like the meta goes. I used to think that this meta was super open and, you know, most things could work, and that's probably true, but like still. But with pickup culture, most things actually don't work, I would say. The easy, well, no, they other things probably do work. They're just like way too hard and it's not worth. So as a result, everyone's playing leader 52, blaster, and zap now, and that is, I mean, that comp is just the most unfun comp I've played against in a long while, as far as like a staple meta comp, and I don't know. It's another like I'm not having fun playing the game, so why would I play moment? Even outside of the comp, playing against 52, miserable all the time. Playing against blasters, miserable all the time. Playing against leader, not miserable all the time because I don't know, some leaders are better than others, but like at a high level where all the leaders are like hitting their shots, like miserable all the time. Both individually when you fight against them separately and when you fight them together, it sucks. It just does. Yeah, so there's that too, and I guess this kind of leads back to things I said like earlier. I think going back to the grind and how I've like not been able to get results I've wanted for a while. I think a long time ago plateaued in skill. Probably, I don't know, like in 2024 or something, like, or like early 2025, I don't know. Actually no, 2024 for sure, because that's when I got some of my best results, and I think I've never been able to hit that peak. I mean, like a lot of those results were in tournaments that people probably don't remember, but as the person who got those results and the fact that they were probably my best ones, like I don't forget them. But I probably plateaued back then, and I think I haven't really been able to get to that point or past it, and I just don't have the energy anymore to try and get past it. That's like another thing. Like, or maybe this is something I literally said earlier, I don't remember. But if it was, I'll like leave a timestamp or something, or like just put it in the video and say like, hey, you can skip to this time. But yeah, like I feel like I plateaued in skill a hot minute ago, and I haven't really been able to get to that point or break back through it and break into like the tip top level of the game or of the scene, and I don't have the will to do that anymore. It's like too hard. It's way too hard. Those people are playing like literally, or probably not anymore, because I think that Western competition is pretty like there still is a pretty big gap, I would say. Or maybe there's not as much, because since those people aren't practicing and are just kind of like playing in pickups, they like aren't as good. I don't know. But anywho. Yeah. I don't really want to do that anymore. That's not how I want to spend my time. Those people are playing like literally all day, or at least they were, to try and get to the point they're at now. And I don't want to do that. I don't enjoy the methods of practice, so there's no way I would sit there and succumb myself to playing like 8 hours a day of solo queue or something, which I'm sure that plenty of people at the highest level now did before, like streaming all day or doing a lot of scrims or whatever it was. I don't want to do that. And then let me see. I guess the last thing isn't really game related. I am moving on with this like kind of chapter of my life as a whole. Really soon. On the 19th of August, I am flying out for school. So like completely just to a different state. Don't plan on just going for school. Like I'm gonna go like live there. So I know my life's gonna get a lot busier, and I want to put my free time into the relationships that I currently have way more than the game. I think that to me that's way more important. Maintaining my friendships throughout all of it, talking to the people I've known the longest, the people that have been there through thick and thin, got me to this point. I'd want to continue to maintain my relationship with them rather than the game, or really the scene, to be honest. So people like Moonlight, people like Q, Leafy, people I've known for like forever. Also, most people probably don't know this, but I've like had a girlfriend for coming up on 15 months now, so that's another thing that I would rather invest my time into than the game. There's just, and all of it kind of just adds up, and creates this like, well, I have way more other things to, or soon I'm gonna have way more other things to worry about, and kind of just don't want Splatoon to be one of them anymore. However, in saying all of that, I will still say this isn't like a I'm never playing again thing. Like if I decide next year I want to compete, which I'm going this year, but I'm not playing. If I decide next year I want to compete at Riptide, I don't want to hear anyone in like trolling me about like, oh, you said you were quitting, da da da. Like, quitting is always an exaggerated term because I think most people don't actually like fully quit unless they literally like get rid of their Switch or like literally don't play the game again. But ultimately, I still have ties to the scene in a way through my friends. So if I like play a pickup with them or a for fun like tournament with them, I don't want to hear it. Like that's not what I mean when I said I'm quitting. You know. Also, my school has a Splatoon team, so I don't know. There's like some world I end up on the team, who knows, or I go to the locals or something like that. But that's not like what I'm meaning. Like earlier when I said I might have said it earlier. When I said I was quitting, I meant like in a capacity of trying to be the best of the game. Not that I'm like literally never gonna play it again. But yeah, if I like am playing in some capacity and I get like found playing open or whatever, or I'm like in a solo queue lobby, I don't want to hear it because that's not what I meant, and I would hope that most people know that. But let me see. I don't think there's actually much else to talk about. But man, Splatoon hasn't only brought, or it hasn't been this big like cloud of sadness over my life that I like kind of portray it to be a little bit, in some ways. It still has given me so much, and I don't want to ignore that or take it for granted by talking about only just me like quitting. It's taken me across the world. It's brought me lifetime friends, and I've still had success playing, but I'm kind of at a point now where I just want to wrap it up. I think I've played for long enough. I've gotten what I've wanted out of it and don't have the willpower to get more out of it, I guess, is another way to put it. I don't want to keep kind of circling the same ideas though. I'm already at like half an hour talking, so I guess that's all. Like I said, or actually everyone didn't see this because I'm sure some people skipped it, but I appreciate anyone who decided they wanted to click on the video and watch or listen, I guess more so, and kind of hear me out on my thoughts and feelings. Definitely didn't have to, and I wouldn't expect anyone to, honestly, but nonetheless, I really do appreciate it. It makes me feel like I didn't make the video for nothing, you know? But I guess as far as me playing, done with that to a competitive, like, I want to be the best capacity. I'll probably still like play for fun in some way. I might like play at a local, play at a LAN, might still like play open. I might still stream the game sometimes. I don't know. Actually, I'll touch on streaming before I end. Now I think about it. Um, I haven't streamed in a hot minute. Every time I think of streaming, it's just kind of Splatoon. Um, what would, if anything, would people like want me to stream if I still did that? I know that there's a certain someone named Scary Green Mountain. If they watch the whole video, that will probably go in the comments and say that they would love for me to stream Geometry Dash, or maybe people will want to watch Pokemon. I don't know, but like any game, I guess, that you guys know that I play. Like, I play some Champions. I haven't played as much recently, but like it's something I could get back into. Same with Geometry Dash, and of course I play quite a lot of Valorant still in my free time. So I guess anything that you guys like want to watch or whatever, like if there's something, feel free to leave it in the comments if you want. I'll take a look at it and potentially stream it. But to be blunt with streaming, I haven't really enjoyed it for some time. Which is why I haven't been doing it. Of course, combined with the fact that I like haven't been playing Splatoon, which has been my main game. So, I'm not too sure about like what my future holds with that, but I guess we'll find out sometime. I'm not saying I'm like never gonna stream again or I'm quitting, but I really could not tell you when I'll be live again. But I guess with that out of the way, I'll end now. Holy crap, I yapped for half an hour. Again, as I said earlier, I appreciate anyone who decided they wanted to click on this video and listen for the whole half an hour or hear me out about things. It means a lot to me. It makes me think I didn't make the video for no reason. But anyway, with all that being said, yeah. I appreciate you guys for watching and hope y'all have a good one. See ya.